in one age, called the Third Age by some,
An age yet to come.
an age long past.
A wind rose on the Geek at Arms podcast.
The wind was not the beginning,
There are neither beginnings,
nor endings to the turning of the Wheel of Time.
but it was a beginning.
Welcome to Woolheads, a Wheel of Time podcast by Geek at Arms. I'm Brian, and here's a man that I think surely must be Ta'Veren. It's James.
The light illume you, Brian.
And you as well, James. The Wheel and Amazon Studios have weaved us one heck of an episode 3. What might be?
Que sera, sera.
Right. It occurs to me that we probably ought to signpost this from the outset. There are spoilers ahead. We're absolutely spoiling the novels, and by extension, parts of the show, and at some point, probably anything and everything else we've ever read or watched.
Yeah, I think that going forward, friends, if you're listening to this podcast, you should just keep that in mind all the time.
So if you haven't read the books and if you intend to at any point, stop this. Actually, yeah, we're spoiling everything. Okay, I'm jumping the gun on the Copland talk here. I'm upset. I am really upset, and I think you know why.
I think you and I share quite a bit about this particular issue, but please fire that gun.
Uno is a fantastic character in the books and in the show.
Yes!
And doing him in like this is just a crime.
It's like they read everything about him, about the Prophet of the Dragon, and said, let's just leave all that out. Forget all that. It's not needed.
Well, we may still get the Prophet because that was Missima, but Uno was just so good.
He was.
And losing him is, And the TV audience didn't really even get the chance to know him as well as we do.
And
so,
and the gentleman who they had playing him was good. He was fun.
Maybe he'll pop up in ter'angreal. He'd better. Something.
I'm still holding out that we're going to see him in the next episode. He's just going to have a much bigger patch over the back of his head. His jaw is going to be a little unhinged. Like, Uno, you're alive. Text mother to call Uno. Yeah, when I saw that, it my notes on that consisted of 2 words. Uno, no! To which he would have responded, Uno, yes. And then the Seanchan replied, Uno, no.
Yeah. Ingtar should have said Uno, no.
Yeah, he was the one who said, but, and I will say, I know this isn't, I'm very happy that this is not CW Game of Thrones, but the death scene was a bit more graphic than I was expecting.
Yeah, that was some very good effects work. I don't know how much of it was practical, if they made like a wax model of that guy, but it was gruesome.
Yeah. Not what I was expecting at all.
No.
I mean, I guess you could put that in with production talk.
Yeah.
Not nice, gruesome death scene. But if this is supposed to be a town in Toman Head, this place is looking really ramshackle. This place is looking really thrown together at the last minute. And the conquering Seanchan army, all 36 of them, with a pyramid of it just seemed very, very. When I think of invading Seanchan force, I'm thinking legions and legions.
Mm.
This looked like it could have been a scene from Hercules: The Legendary Journeys.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected. I could see that number of Seanchan attacking this little town. I don't see them bringing along High Lady Suaroth with them.
Exactly. So we've got High Lady Suaroth. We've got Suldam and Damani, which isn't that out of place, honestly, with an invading force. But we also have High Lady Suaroth and her, I guess, her truth speaker. I forget what the term is for the person who speaks for her.
I don't remember. I remember her name is Alwyn.
Yeah.
But I don't remember her title.
And there at her other shoulder is Ishmael in his business casual outfit.
Yeah.
That actually made me mad. The garb they had him in, all he was missing was a tie, and he looked like he could be attending a venture capital presentation.
Well, he was. We don't know exactly what was the Age of Legends was like, but maybe that makes sense. I mean, they had apparently skyscrapers.
Well, fair, but I'm sorry. The cut of his clothes and
It did look
they
too modern.
way too modern. So unless they've got a ter'angreal singer sewing machine hidden away somewhere, then it took me out of the fantasy element.
See, what you don't realize is he's actually naked the entire time, and that's just an illusion he's weaving.
Ah, ew. Ew. That's why Perrin was so freaked out. His wolf vision kicked. He's like, he wasn't saying, "You're
right
dead. You're naked." Oh.
Oh gosh, he touched my knee. Gross.
Elias. Oh, thank God. Or thank the creator. Or thank whatever. Just get me out of here. And
Thank some amorphous, unspecific light.
Yeah. Eli's like, why was that naked man in here?
What are you into? Maybe I don't want you as a wolf brother after all.
Oh. Well, continuing the Copland talk. I know last episode I was referring to it as Conger talk, but Conger, Copland, they're
interchangeable.
they're two sides of the same horrible coin.
Yes.
Speaking of the Seanchan, though, I was curious of your take on their armor.
It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
And they're obviously didn't read the evil overlord list, because I know at some point somebody's going to be masquerading as a Seanchan with that helmet that you can't see anybody's face through.
I could barely make out their face. I did not like the Death's Head motif that their helmets were stylized after. And from a practical standpoint, I thought, wow, you could literally stab their face with rebar. That's how wide the gapping is in that faceplate. That's not going to work one bit.
Yeah, in the books it's described as insectoid, and I kind of wish that we had that rather than what we're getting.
Which was why when they showed up in the last episode, I didn't know who they were. I was expecting the insectoid motif for when we encountered these Seanchan, not whatever this was.
I recognized that scale mail from the last episode of the first season.
Oh, okay.
So I caught that. I wasn't paying as much attention to the helmets.
They were only memorable when they were all standing still, and I finally got a good look at them. I was like, oh, those kind of suck. But anyway, the last thing I have for my Copland talk was how at first I thought the episode was dealing with Nynaeve.
Well, they spent was it 20 minutes before the title card?
Yeah, that kind of surprised me.
It's like an episode of Alias.
So I know that when she comes to the tower, she's kind of unofficially made and accepted right off the bat because of her age and experience, much to Egwene's chagrin. Now, I forget when she finally goes through the archways.
It was almost immediately.
It was? Okay.
Yeah.
So
she was accepted for a long time before Egwene and Elayne were.
Yeah. So we're on track with that, so to speak. About she was able to channel at least before she went through, I think.
Yeah. It was
broken through her block
because they hadn't broken through it entirely. She still had to be angry, but she was a lot better at actually making herself angry.
Mm-hmm. That's her secret. She's always angry.
Right.
But she gets through them, and I think the first two scenarios are similar to what was in the books. And then we get to the third, and I got a little perturbed because it seems that I did like the kind of that they pulled the wool over our eyes. That she
I
came
was
back
totally
out.
fooled.
Yeah, same here. That she came out, she doesn't remember, and then she's leaving. She encounters Land, and you think, okay, maybe Land was heading back to Tar Valon or heading back to Tar Valon. But how did he know that she was going through the arches?
Yeah, when they encountered each other on the road is when I twigged to it. It's like, oh wait, she's still in there.
Yep. And then you see, then you hear the voice. The way out will be shown but once, and she sees it, kind of sees it, and then ignores it. That made me mad. That made me mad because I thought, from what I recalled, in the book, she was given a much stronger reason to stay through that final arch, and she still came back. And
Well,
I thought that,
no.
but then, well, wait, did she? Well, it didn't.
She
It didn't
it the first time.
Do what?
She refused it at first, and she had to channel to bring it back.
Did she?
Yeah.
I had this shows how long it has been since I have read the books. I had forgotten that part. Now, what I was about to say though was, then she has her life. We see her and Lan in marital bliss. We see her daughter, and then after the tragedy, the way back is shown. I thought, okay, I amend my Copland talk from before. Because for a couple of reasons. One, I really enjoyed Nynaeve's fantasy life. It was sweet and delightful. You saw Lan Mandragoran making sweet rolls. And
we saw Matt being the guy that we thought that he was to start with.
Yes. More talk on Matt in a little bit.
Yes.
It was sweet. It was earnest and all too real. Perrin making her a little sword, both of them being uncles to this sweet little girl. It was wonderful up until everyone's bloody death. So she channels, the way back is shown, and she's able to get back out. As a parent, that last moment killed me.
Yes. She commanded the scene.
Oh, the young lady, what is her name? Zoe Robbins. I know that had to have been the hardest scene to film. Well done. Well done.
Yes.
I felt it in my gut. I mean, I felt nauseous that what she had to have been going through. She's trying to save her child, and she runs through, and her arms are still cradling, but now it's nothing. Like, oh.
And the positioning of the blood on her dress as she's coming through, because it's in the same spot as where she was holding the child. It's like, oh man, that was almost too much.
And that's when they end the episode.
Yeah,
which
that's where they should have ended the episode.
Oh, did
they end it there?
They ended it there.
I thought that there was another scene after that.
Was there a post-credits scene that I missed?
No, maybe I'm imagining things.
No, it went straight from that to credits. Like, Egwene is cradling her, saying, "It's okay, it's okay." Nynaeve is bawling. Credits.
Okay, yeah. It was the previous episode that ended in a place that I thought it was weird. Like, they should have ended there, and then they had another scene after. But yeah, I thought I was ready to dislike that change right up until I realized what was happening. It's like, oh, okay, we are getting her third scene and Lan's babies. And then I thought that the book ending of the child in the cellar and the hatchet was really, really well done. The first vision wasn't the same as in the books. I don't think we saw anything about her childhood at all in the books.
I didn't think it didn't seem familiar.
I don't remember what her first trial was.
The second one was from the books, though, where there was an outbreak in Two Rivers. Maybe not perfectly. Like, I don't think it was Tam Althor who was saying, "Please don't leave." But I
Well, it
do like
was
seeing Tam in any episode. So even if
yeah,
he was
yeah.
dying, I was happy to see him.
If I remember right, there was like there was an evil wisdom and
Yes.
who had murdered Master Luhan and somebody else, and she was going to try and organize a resistance against the other wisdom. That was too much story to put in this, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think, hey, there's a plague that's quick, that's snappy, it resonates with us.
Instead of introducing a different character, because that's the last thing this series needs is more new characters. Let's have
Right.
just a incompetent wisdom with someone you've already met, and we'll take it from there.
Yeah, that vision alone would have been half an hour, so probably just as well it was changed.
Yeah.
It's a small thing, but one thing I really didn't like about that sequence of scenes, it's really small. I missed Be Steadfast. Because whenever they said the way back will come but once, be steadfast.
Yeah, I don't think she said that, did she?
No, she didn't. And they preserved so much of the other dialogue in that scene from they put some of it in different mouths. But those two words, I missed them, and I kept expecting to hear them, and they didn't come.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah, I wonder why they dropped them. In somebody's personal preference, I guess.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm ready to hate Shiriam for the rest of the show.
Wow.
I liked her so much in the first 3 books, but this is not somebody that I'm prepared to have any love for.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it would have robbed Egwene or Elayne of anything in their scene if the woman had shown enough compassion to hug the girl. But her advice is get over it.
And also what they were telling Nynaeve in between, your burdens are your sorrows or your memories are your own. Do not burden us with them. Like,
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, the whole point of it in the books was she would never have told anybody any of that stuff.
Yeah.
It was so personal to her. She didn't want to. I mean, Nynaeve is self-contained and defensive to start with. But yeah, that was. I can totally get Leandrin saying that, though. Shiriam, this Shiriam, I understand her saying that. The real Shiriam would not have.
Mm-hmm.
And also, Nynaeve is now racking up deaths faster than Daniel Jackson.
And they both went through portals.
She's been dead 3 times now. Well, she wasn't actually dead the first time, but everybody thought she was.
Yeah. Okay, but if this series does an Ori type of thing, I'm out. I'm straight out. I'm not looking back.
I don't know. The Seanchan's weird costuming things are kind of looking like what's his name? The Dosai.
I'm going to be honest. I never watched a full season of Stargate, and even I know how stupid and messed up the whole Ori storyline was.
It was so bad. It had its moments, but overall it was bad. And all of the moments were centered around Vala Maldoran. So Claudia Black for the win.
Claudia Black for the win, yeah. But anyway, well, did we have any more Copland talk, or shall we switch to changes in the pattern?
I think I've been in change of the pattern for a while.
Well, we keep going back and forth.
Blurs together, yeah.
Let's officially jump into it then.
Yes.
Top of mind, a Gleeman. We finally see a Gleeman. And he's wearing an appropriate cloak.
Yeah, his Tom's had the patches, but they were on the inside and was like kind of subdued. There's nothing subdued about this guy.
Yeah. Not a bit. But even though he only was there for a few moments and kind of telling the tale of the horn and stirring people up as they swore to search for it, I'm like, you know what? I'm fine with it. Brothers just earning some gold.
I'm not sure about the brand that they were getting. It's like, wow, that's commitment.
You know what? That is a mark of dedicated people of extremists, and
Mm.
uh, for the hunt for the horn, I buy into it.
Yeah, and I guess it gives us a nice visual shorthand. When we see the brand, we know that's a hunter.
Yep. We see some more of we see some more of Cairhienin.
Mm-hmm. We got to see the nobility.
And I like that we got to see just a glimpse of the great game.
Mm-hmm. And that the beginning of Rand destabilizing the entire country.
Seriously. Lord knows what he did by burning a single invitation.
There was another minor change that it doesn't bother me, but I was kind of curious about it. Is that Cairhien's got a queen now? Galdrian wasn't actually in the books except by reference, so I don't really miss him. But
Yeah.
I thought it was a weird, arbitrary change.
I don't know. I don't recall.
It makes me wonder if she's going to make an actual appearance at some point.
Shoot, we might see her and a lot more of Cairhienin before we actually see Andor, which I thought we would have seen quite a while ago. So
I think I figured out what they're doing with Andor, and it's I think they want somebody specific for Morgaze, and they're waiting until they've got enough clout to get her.
Okay.
I don't know who it is, but that's what I suspect is happening.
Gotcha.
And I'm just going to be tickled if it's Cate Blanchett.
I don't think it's going to happen, but boy, wouldn't
that be great?
Wouldn't that be just a kick in the teeth to the Rings of Power?
Yeah, that's one of those pie in the sky fan castings for you.
Yeah. Oh, something else I was really happy to finally see, and it comes a bit late, but I'm very happy that we saw it. And wolves, we finally get some wolves in this show, and they're and Elias running with them and coming to Perrin's aid. So I'm hoping that the wolf connection, the wolf powers, will finally start to see that fast tracked a bit.
Yeah, and we're getting a better idea of. I thought it was interesting that Ishamael is trying to take credit for that.
The wilder you get, the more you belong to me. I'm like, oh, you're messing with him.
Yeah. It's like, oh wow, the father of lies indeed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that plot line strengthened. I've honestly got no idea where they're going at this point. With the Seanchan and Perrin and Elias, it's all over the place.
Yeah, we are so off the rails from the book that I think that'd be a perfect time to head to future casting.
Sure.
So besides Cate Blanchett putting on a red wig and joining the cast,
I'm wondering if the Logain plot means we're going to have they're reassigning the Asmodean thing to him.
Interesting.
So we might not get Asmodean teaching Rand later on, which won't make me terribly sad because that whole thing was okay, but it wasn't my favorite part of the novels. It always seemed a little awkward.
I was a little worried at the scene where Rand is talking with Logain, and Logain is still believing that he's the Dragon Reborn. Says, "You're going to get me out of here. That is my price." And Rand just slaps him down. "You can't help me." I did like their interaction. When Logain is telling him, "I recognized you this moment I laid eyes on you. You know, those who can channel can recognize others who can. There's a glow, and you absolutely burned."
Which I don't think in the books was the same. The women could see the glow, but we haven't seen any evidence of that in the show. But the men had to be standing really close to somebody holding the power.
Gotcha.
Which it's an interesting change.
Mm-hmm. Now, I liked that at first Rand was just asking, how do I turn it off?
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a moment Logain's looking at him, and I swear it's where there was a moment that Logain looked at him with pity. It's like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
you poor boy, there is no turning this off.
Yeah. And I think Rand still thinks that he won the last battle.
Yeah.
He thinks he killed the Dark One. So he's got no reason to think I need to be able to still channel. So yeah, that's the guy playing Logan. I don't know what his name is, but he's doing a great job.
I've really enjoyed him. I was scared at first that when he told Rand that you're going to get me out of here, like I really hope that's a side plot they don't pursue. I don't want to see that. Rand becoming the servant to this little baby dragon. that would be weird. That would be almost too much.
Yeah, I can't see it going that direction.
Good.
I could see a storyline of Rand essentially having to tame the guy, teach him who's in charge all the time.
And we might still. I mean, just because Rand
yeah.
burned down his little apartment doesn't mean that he has to leave.
Speaking of, the effects in that scene were really good.
They were. It was seamless. The flow from his arms straight up to the roof and how they turned into fire. I'm like, okay, nicely done.
I wonder if the fire was practical, though. It looked really good. It looked like gasoline rather than wood burning, but it looked really good.
I'm going to guess effects because I can't imagine them. Well, you know what? They could have shot him on the bed and then shot the fire and then just put them together. Like, for insurance sake, I don't think they're going to light a fire above one of their main actors. That might have flown in like the 60s and 70s, not today.
Yeah, and split screens are so easy these days.
That's very true. So
they're so easy that I've done about 1,000 of them.
I hope it was a practical effect because those end up looking the best.
Yeah. Well, whether it was or what, it looked good.
Yeah.
I rode the Mummy ride at Universal Studios in Florida, and they've got this thing where they set the ceiling on fire, and it looked just like that.
Gotcha. Speaking of Logain and Rand, my future casting for the next episode, we're going to see a side-in training montage. I mean, straight up 1980s power ballad with Rand doing push-ups, trying to lift rocks with the power, bringing more wine to Logain.
We get all of the tropes from the training montage, except Rand is just standing perfectly still and the stuff is just happening around him.
Yes, exactly.
Like, magically.
One of the other workers walks by. What's going on out here? Nothing at all. Nothing. We're fine. We're all fine here now. Thank you. How are you?
I'm not sure what to think about Min working for Liandrin.
Yeah, me neither.
I
honestly, when I first saw Liandrin walk out, I went, "Oh, come on."
I want to think she's a dupe. And she did have that vision of Matt stabbing Rand, so maybe her thinking this is a bad guy is kind of justified, but I don't know. Between that and lacking that personable, sardonic personality that she had in the books, it's like I'm not sold on Min yet.
Yeah, me neither.
I'm still willing to give her some more time, but she hasn't persuaded me yet.
I am completely sold on this new Matt, though.
Mm-hmm.
Matt 2.0, I'm with you all the way, my man. And he is what I have been wanting the Matt to be. And I know why they did it. I didn't surprise me when he saw Egwene crying in that little courtyard. Mm-hmm. But I was almost out loud saying to the TV, go. Walk to her. Go to comfort. Do
not walk. Oh, he's walking away. I know he's gonna do. I can't imagine how that scene would have gone, but yeah, I'm right there with you. I was like, oh,
I mean, they
You're
need.
so Matt.
Yeah, it's so Matt. But I feel like one of the strongest parts of the Wheel of Time story is the fact that even though they are pulled in separate directions so many times, that this group of friends, especially Rand, Matt, Perrin, and you include Egwene, Nynaeve, that they're always going to be there for each other, and that they are a united group. And so in later books, they get pulled apart. But I feel like we're still early on, and I feel like we need more scenes of them together.
Yeah, I'm sure we're going to get the scene of Matt riding to the rescue, just like we had in the Great Hunt novel. But that is where he really shines. He's never been good at the dealing with people's emotions.
You are right.
So that's perfectly in keeping with his character. It's like, girl crying, I can't really deal with that.
I did like that it wasn't an easy choice for him. It wasn't I'm going to roll my eyes, be moody, and walk away. You could see that he wanted to. He saw his friend.
See that he was sharing her pain.
He could see his friend hurting, and he wanted to do something. He just wasn't sure what. And he was also second-guessing everything because of Leandrin's lies.
Right.
This is a Matt that I absolutely could see wearing a wide-brimmed hat, sporting a jaunty scarf with a spear, or a weird sword spear thing. Last season's Matt, I wasn't sure I could.
Yeah, I didn't see last season's Matt dancing with Jack of the Shadows. I just got through that scene in the book, so.
Oh, gotcha. Well, was there anything else that we had to say about what might be?
I have reached the end of my notes.
I think it wraps it up.
All right, well, everyone, the light shine on you, and may you shelter in the palm of the Creator's hand.